feel that you've kind of like made any progress, moved on to sort of anything better recently?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just a little bit. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
I mean,
never even considered that, Mandy.
yes.
Put a whole new light on that card for me. Damn.
Yeah.
Shall we show everybody what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I never even considered that.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, this is definitely a card about sort of moving on.
Yeah, moving forward to a
Yeah.
and
Better
it
place.
yeah, a better place, big time.
Yes.
It's so hard for me sometimes not to see it as a refugee or a battered, running from abuse or war or battle that I get locked out of the everyday with it, almost like it's a major arcana sometimes, but that's why.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Once again, you've got a card that, are you focusing on where you're coming from with this card, or are you focusing on where you're going to with this card? It's because I think it's human nature to kind of want to make progress and to want to kind of move on to something that is comparatively better than where you're at. We never choose to move forward into something worse, do we? So
No.
there's always room for progress. No matter
Yeah.
how wonderful it is where you're coming from, you feel, I suppose, like we all feel we could kind of do a little bit better, whatever.
And then there are some abusive situations that I
Yes,
have seen in readings where, you know, you have to run. You don't have a choice as to
yes,
whether you're running towards something better or worse. You just run. And if this card comes up, because of the waves over here, the rocky water and the
yes,
smooth water on the other side, that's showing you that yes, you are running to a better place. You are moving towards something
yes,
better. That's a really good card to come up to settle down some anxieties you might be having about transitions. A totally
yeah.
transition card.
It's funny because, oh God, years and years ago, I used to work in a travel agent, and get this, I got sent on a travel agent's trip to the Bahamas. Right, this is a very long
Ooh.
time ago. Oh my God, it was amazing. But while I was in the Bahamas, there was one point where they flew us to this island, and the island was 100 miles long, and we landed in this funny little airport that was like a shed, and then we had to drive down this road that was 100 miles long. It took hours, and it was full of potholes and things. And when we got to the other end, we got on a little fishing boat, and they oared us just like this across to this tropical island where we stayed for a few days. It was like paradise because it was so difficult to get there. But when we were driving down this 100-mile long road, literally at one point, the road was the width of the island. That was it. The entire width of the island was the road that we were on. And
Oh,
they literally said that one side of this road was the Atlantic Ocean and the other side of this road was the Caribbean Sea. And I'm feeling that looking at this boat, funnily
oh,
enough.
that is so cool.
I've
Yes.
never forgotten it. It was oh my God, it was another lifetime away. But it was an amazing thing to kind of like think, my God, and that one side could be so different to another that it even had a different name. But there's something about that. It's kind of in life sometimes, it's if you look to your right, it's such and such a path, and if you look to your left, it's such and such a path, you know.
And how many times or how often in our lives, as far as good and bad, are we really just on that middle road?
Yeah,
Yeah. So, that fine line in between.
and it's a very fine line, a very, very, sometimes a very fine line.
Yeah.
Another thing about this card for me, because I live in Cambridge, I mean, I don't know if we're the only place, there must be other places, but we're a little bit like Venice. We have the river and we have punting. It's very popular. It's the most popular thing for visitors to Cambridge to do, is go out on the river with the punts. And it's exactly this.
I was looking at him thinking Venice because of the pool and
Yeah, no, well, I think Cambridge because this is where I live. But it is a really fun thing to do. And you go literally down the river, and somebody does, whoever is the punter, who is in charge of that punt, he will tell you the history of all the university and the colleges as you go up and down the river. It's a lovely thing to do.
Ooh, okay. I'm getting
Yeah,
this list. I'm gonna have to stay with you for a month
I know.
to get all these
Anyway,
things done that I want to do.
yeah,
But that could be something like saying, it 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 could mean something as simple as travel by boat, slow travel,
yeah.
middle of the road, going on a punting trip.
And don't forget to look both sides of where you're going, because one side could tell a completely different story if you're looking that way to if you're looking that way.
Mm. Now, one thing about this card that really bothers me
Yes.
is that all those swords are point down in the boat. Duh. It's like, are
Yeah.
they are they plugging holes that were in the boat? If you remove one sword, is it going to go down? It's almost like they're carrying their baggage with them, which
Yes.
that's what we do. We do carry our baggage with us.
Or, Sharon, yes, I'm not disagreeing with that for a second. Or they're carrying all their knowledge with them.
I hope so, because point a sword point down in a boat just seems to me like a really bad idea.
But it's interesting though, but kind of like sometimes people feel that by moving or something, it's going to kind of sort all their problems out. But a lot of your problems are just in your head and will come with you. That there's certain things you cannot get away from. Like you just can't. That they are, you have to deal with them rather
I
than run from them.
I remember several of the moves that we made when I was younger. I was an army brat to begin with and then a marine, so I moved a lot. And I remember, you're in a situation where you did something stupid somewhere and that people just don't let you grow up. And that anticipation of being somebody new, being able to be the person I wanted to be when I got to a new place, that was always me. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. That is the thing. I think you can't get away from yourself, and
So if it's herself that she's running from, uh,
she's not going to kind of like find what she's looking for in that other place.
right.
If that is the case, but it might simply be that somebody is genuinely moving on to something better. It could be a new job, it could be a new relationship, it could be a new house, it could be a new, a new city to live in. It could genuinely be a great improvement.
I do believe in the upright position. This is
Yeah,
definitely an improvement, even if you still are bringing your baggage.
yeah,
You don't just wake up the next day and say, "Oh, I'm all better now." You've got to work through things. I think in the reverse situation, that would be when it would no, you're not really making any progress. You're just moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
movement doesn't always mean progress.
Yeah. Or you're coming back.
Uh, y- yes, please.
Yeah. Not necessarily to something bad. It's just you've been somewhere and now you're coming back, you know, to
Yeah,
where you came from.
yeah,
And somebody else gave a nice interpretation of this once, and I thought, oh, I like that. That somebody's helping you. You're being assisted in your kind of, you know, journey or your path or whatever.
yeah. Because I mean, he could be part of that family, but looking at it, it doesn't. It feels more like he's a ferryman or a cab driver
Yeah.
or some kind soul, you know, saying, "Let me get you out of here."
Yes.
But he doesn't. The way the mother and the child, I assume that's a mother. I do
Yes.
assume that's a mother.
Yeah.
Feel has a
Yeah.
feminine feel, are so huddled and broken looking, and he doesn't look like, you know, he's all that great in confidence, but he is upright. He is doing something, ferrying them out of the situation.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like he's part of that family. Could be
No.
though. He
No.
very
It
well
does.
could be.
But he could be. He could know them. He could be a friend or something that's just
Mm,
like helping them get where they need to get to.
uh,
I just think it's very open to interpretation. It could be that they're moving and they're sad to be leaving, you know, but it's inevitable or whatever.
yeah.
I mean, it could either be that they're running from somewhere, or it could be they don't want to be leaving and they don't realize that they're actually going to really like it when they get there.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens a lot. Um, it's really hard to not only leave a place that you love, but a place that you're just accustomed to.
Yeah,
Change is
exactly.
terrifying, and change
Yes.
is, you know, does bring some sadness with it, whether it's good change or bad change. So it could be that they're just unhappy to leave. I think that's only, as much as I've moved in my life, except for the last 20 damn years, there's only been once that I was, oh, really tore up to leave a place. Once in all those times. And it was a lot like the feel from this card.
Well, I felt like that when I left the Bahamas.
Up.
I just thought, I just want to stay here forever. It's amazing.
Mine was Louisiana, Lafayette, Louisiana. I
Wow.
would have been, I was really and truly happy there. And I cried all the way from Lafayette to where did we go? North Carolina, I think. Only time I ever cried leaving a place.
Oh.
Um, did not want to leave.
Well, that means that you loved it there.
I loved it there.
I mean, that's the thing. Like in life, if we have something that's wonderful and marvelous, the price that you pay is that when that comes to an end, it's more devastating.
I was devastated. But I can't say that we definitely had to leave the place I loved for a better life. It
Right.
was right after 9/11,
Oh
and
God.
the company Paul had worked for had shut down. It was a lot of companies were shutting down at the time. So in order to survive, we had to go to a place that had a job, you know? And we did it and life got good again, but yeah, I cried the entire time, Mandy.
And yeah, so in reverse, yeah, I mean, it could be that you're going back into the situation that you've come from, or
Going home.
yeah, the holiday's over.
Can't stay here in the Bahamas.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe it is homesickness or something in the reverse.
I could see that easily. Homesickness,
Yeah,
wanting to return and not being able to.
yeah,
No progress whatsoever.
yeah. Or
Um,
just kind of like feeling that you went away to try and clear your head and it hasn't worked.
oh yeah, because all those swords are really like in the forefront there now. I mean,
Now
that's what you
I'm
see.
gonna tell this story that I have told before, but the right moment to tell this is now. but I told half the story. If anyone's been following this journey through the cards, was when my nephew lost his passport, and my sister asked me if there was any possibility the tarot might be able to find it. It'd been missing for 3 months.
Oh.
And the first card that kind of like was significant was the Page of Coins. And I said the passport is upstairs. They'd been concentrating on the dining room, which was downstairs, which was the last place he remembered having it 3 months ago. And they'd been emptying out every drawer, every book on the shelf. They were going mad, but they were sure it was in the dining room. It does sound like a game of Cluedo, but I said, no, it's not in the dining room. It's upstairs. So they all went charging up the stairs, and they went, now what? Now what? And I got this card exactly like this. I got the 6 of Swords in reverse, and I went, where do you normally keep the passports? And she said, in her bedroom, in which was upstairs, where they were, in a chest of drawers. And I said, well, the passport has been returned to where it came from. And she went, no, it hasn't. We've already looked there. Obviously, that's where we first looked. And I went, go back there and look again. I found the passport. It had slipped down the back, and there it was, exactly where it should have been. They went back to where it came from in the first place. Thank you, 6 of Swords. It was easy fine.
There had to be screaming of excitement
Oh my God,
involved.
it was an amazing tarot moment, but it really was teamwork between the Page of Coins upright and the 6 of Swords reverse. So be prepared for any question with your tarot, and be prepared for these cards to tell you things you never expected them to say.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
that's not going to be in any book.
No. No, I will never ever forget that, and I don't think my sister and her family will either. So,
And it probably made it. I mean, I don't know if her husband was a believer or not, but after this, he had to be like, "Oh yeah, this stuff's real."
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. When things like that happen, it's yeah, it can have quite a profound effect on
And it's
everybody.
always exciting. I mean, you never lose that "oh dang" moment, that
Yeah.
amazement and wonder at.
I mean, the truth is though, a lot of tarot readings are, I mean, you kind of get it right a lot of the time, and the client is sitting there going, yeah, that's exactly it, it's spot on, blah blah blah, but they're not that theatrical, if that makes sense. And every so often you will get something that's just got all the drama in it and all the show busy thing going on, right? You know, and it's like, whoa, when that happens, it's amazing.
It is. Oh my God. And it's like, yeah, they're rare moments, but when they do happen, they reignite the wonder of the world, you
Yes.
know? It's
Yeah.
not so much as, yeah, I'm the shit. Although we do feel like that, I promise. But it's the magic, seeing that magic fresh again.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a flipping magical moment, if
And
ever.
it is actually weird, but because that happened, I mean, it is quite a while ago now. It's got to be 2 or 3 years ago. But because that happened, I love the Page of Coins and the 6 of Swords reverse. I just feel they're on my side, these 2 cards, right? You know,
Yeah.
I just love them.
Yes. Oh my God. I love that story. I love seeing in my head everybody jumping up and down and screaming.
But just for the record, this all happened on the phone because my sister lives about an hour and a half away from me, and she phoned me, and I said, well, okay, I'll give it a go, but you be there on the phone because I'm going to ask certain questions, and I need you to, you know, I'm not just going to kind of do it and then say, go and try this. I want you to like literally be there while I'm doing it, and that's what happened. So it really was two households going berserk.
That is so freaking cool.
I know. I have not exaggerated that story whatsoever. Yeah.
Oh man, that Six of Swords is powerful. And I love the way, it's returned to where it has come from. And then the page of coins, it's upstairs. The
Yeah.
use of the intuition that you allowed these cards to speak to you in a non-traditional way.
Yeah.
That's just pure brilliance,
Well, that's
So,
how we've learnt to do it, isn't it? So,
yeah.
you know, yeah, I kind of like feel the more you do it, and the more you trust it, and the more you trust yourself, you have to just think every time you do the tarot, you have to just clear your head and think, I am prepared for anything that this is going to say to me.
And I think especially in because you were probably like, can I even do this? Is this even possible? And we get those situations and it's less about ego and more about faith.
Oh,
Faith
that's
in your
beautifully
cards,
put. Yeah.
faith in the yeah. So I think that's the way you were able to do it, that faith and that trust in your
Yeah.
cards and the universe.
And that it was interesting though, because shortly after that, I did another dowsing thing, and to be honest, I had a friend who she had some important papers. That's right, and she'd been staying with someone in France or something like that. She'd been staying in France, and she remembers packing these papers in her bag in France. And when she got back home into the Netherlands, the papers were gone. And she kind of like, and she was driving herself nuts about these papers. And then she was questioning whether she had actually put them in her bag from her friend's house in France. But her friend had checked and they weren't still there and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I did this whole journey from France to the Netherlands with her kind of trying to remember where they stopped on the way and all of this. And we established through that reading that she'd taken her bag into like a petrol station, and while she was there at the petrol station, she'd used the bathroom and she'd taken things out of her bag, and I think I got something like the King of Cups reversed or something. I was absolutely convinced from the reading that she'd left the papers in the petrol station, but this was about 3 weeks before or something. And I said, are you going to kind of phone them to sort of see if they've got them? She went, I can't even remember the name of that petrol station. She said, we stopped several times, she went, they will have just thrown them away by now or something like that. But she went, it's fine now. I know they've gone. Thank you. Thank you. I totally trust that this was the right answer. I'm going to just forget it now.
Oh, dang.
So I never found out for sure whether that dowsing was right, but she was absolutely convinced that that was the right answer, and that was the end of it now. And
so she was going to find other avenues of getting all her
no, she was
documents.
just going to sort of she was just going to, it doesn't matter, I can live without these papers. It's just bothered. It's just been getting on my nerves, and I'm fed up with it being in my head. I'd rather just know that they're gone. And I thought, oh,
and that makes sense. That makes
complete
sense
that was
to
a different
me.
response to dowsing. She was really satisfied with the outcome of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you knew where they were and you had found them. But her not knowing what petrol station, look at me saying petrol, gas station,
Yeah.
that she had stopped at. And you get to that point where, it takes years sometimes to stop looking for something.
Yes.
And just that sense of closure when, okay, it's gone. It's gone. It's not in this house. I'm not going to find it. That allowing yourself to stop looking for it is huge.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
It became apparent that that's what she wanted, and it had just taken a big weight off her shoulders. So
Yeah. And that
it
is a
was a
big
sort of
weight.
successful reading, but not quite the same for me as it was with the finding of the passport.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Not
It's
that
interesting.
same,
Yeah.
just wonder and, oh, wow, the universe is so kind.
Yeah.
And you feel so good. Now, I absolutely hate dowsing. I'll only do it if pressed. And it's because by the time the client or your friend or whoever it is comes to you to find something, they're half hysterical. They're so frantic that they just not, I already looked there, or no, you're wrong, it's not there. And the first time I dowsed, one of my friends called me. She was looking for a watch that was given to her as a gift. And first card turned over, I was like, you've already looked right at it. You've seen it, you've just not seen it. It's right there. And I said, look at your nightstand. I don't remember what card it was. I wish I could, but it's on your nightstand under a book or something stupid like that. No, it's not. I already looked there. We were at my parents' house, and I'm sure I left it there. This woman kept making me read, and I allowed her to. By the time I was done, I had them damn watches in India. Guess where she found them?
On the
Her
nightstand.
nightstand.
Yeah.
So it pissed me off and really made me hate dowsing because the people are so frantic, you
Mm.
know. So most of the
The thing
time,
is, though, is that if somebody, like, for example, does want dowsing and does want you to sort of try and help to find something, you've really got to see the cards in a different way to the
yeah,
traditional meanings. You've got to look at them that they are giving you directions. They're telling you up, down, right, left,
under.
inside something, outside something. You've really, really got to kind of put a different mindset to it.
And it's difficult to do. And then you got some frantic client. I already looked there. And then the next day they wake up and they look and they find it. And they, oh, they don't. It really pisses me off. Get very annoyed. And it's because that franticness, um, I have a really high empathic, um, I don't know if it's threshold or what, but I feel that franticness. I
Okay.
get that franticness with them, and it makes it,
Yeah.
already Gemini moon. I'm all over the place. So as
Oh,
I am right
yeah.
now, right?
So did you bring any six cards, like
I
six or six
did, I
cards?
did, and I have done my very favorite artist a serious disservice by not showing any of his work yet. Eric C. Dunn. I am crazy, crazy, crazy about this
Oh,
artist. This is the Tarot Illuminati, Six of Swords. And this is the deck when I retired my Morgan Greer after 25, 30 years.
yeah.
It took me years to find a deck that I could read with or even want to read with. This is the deck that brought me home to the tarot. So, and it's the Six of
Wow.
Swords. And I love his use of colors.
Yes.
I
Yeah. It's so
love,
Christmassy, isn't it?
yes, so beautiful. The little girl and the mother. And look at that violent waves
Yeah. Yeah.
there
Yeah. Yeah.
and the beautiful clear water on the other side.
It's
So,
gorgeous.
oh,
It's
I love
lovely.
it. I
I've got to
love it.
say, in this particular card, I feel like that the guy could be the dad. He kind of matches them somehow.
Yeah, yeah, with the use of color and
Yeah.
he's got the way the little girl is looking at him, everything, I feel like they're more of a family unit.
There's a connection somehow between them all.
And I like the way that they're coming toward us instead of moving away from us. They're
Oh,
coming
okay.
to us. But I still can't stand the tips of those swords. But he is. very true to the Rider-Waite
Yeah.
interpretation, symbolism, everything. It's just beautiful, rich, and brocades. This is one of the most beautiful decks I've ever seen. And it's what finally got me able to read tarot again after my poor little Morgan Greer died.
If your interpretation of the Rider-Waite is that they're refugees and there's the sort of sorrow, I don't think that's so obvious here. It just feels like they've arrived home, or they've arrived where they're going, or they're just pulling in.
It could be that they're pulling in. It could be because, when you think of refugees, we often think of poorer people, people
Yeah,
fleeing, and these people are obviously more well off than the average bear.
yeah,
So it could be they'd hit on hard times, but are working or doing something to be able to handle it, to be able to make it better. So not necessarily fleeing a situation because they're coming toward us, but more making a bad situation as good as they can and bettering themselves. Does that make sense?
I think they look quite well dressed.
Yeah.
So
But
I
you
don't
got to
know that.
think
Yeah.
even the wealthy can
Yes,
get hit by hard
that's
times.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Luck
Yeah.
don't care. or
Yeah.
COVID. Look at COVID. There's people
Yeah.
that have
Yeah.
lost everything and they may have been doing really fine. They had no way to prepare for this.
Yes.
Yeah. How about you? What have you got?
Well, I just thought I would finish with the memories of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this is the Ghetto Tarot, and I'm not saying the Bahamas was like a ghetto, but yeah, I mean this was all filmed in Haiti, which is in the Caribbean.
Oh,
So
is
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah, and
Oh,
there you have it, the sort of the real life version. But maybe they're just going out to do some fishing,
oh
and they're gonna,
no, not
they're gonna
unless they're sword fishing.
yeah, or maybe they're going out to catch the sharks, the Caribbean reef sharks. I don't know.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah,
It really stunned me here, and we don't like choose our cards together unless
no,
I tell you bring this card like I did the last time.
that's
We
the first
choose
time
our
you've done that.
cards
Yeah,
right before the show and separately, and I think it's kind of stunning the way my boat and my people were so wealthy and luxurious, and
yes,
it's not so much that the people look poor, they're dressed average, but
yeah,
look at the condition of that boat.
yeah,
I mean, they're just starting off, it's obvious, or
yeah.
maybe not. I don't know which way that oar is going. But we're really concerned, or I'm really concerned, is that boat going to make the trip?
I know.
They
It's
have
quite,
to be in a really rough situation to get in a craft like that.
yeah.
So just the
Well,
opposition.
the Ghetto Tarot, and I would like to do it as a deck of the week at some point, because it was all photographed with people that live in the ghetto in Haiti, and they all modelled for the deck, and all the proceeds went to their community. So there is a whole story behind it. So yeah,
That is
yeah,
one of the most phenomenal.
yes. So it just sort of like just shows how amazing the tarot can be, and what can come from it. So
I love that. Yes, I want to see that deck of the week. I do want to see
they
that.
do have the six swords in the boat.
Yep.
Admittedly, they're upright, but they don't necessarily look like they're dug in. They look like they're propped upright.
Ah, like they may be going into what they feel is a dangerous situation, and they're going to be well armed,
Yeah. I
to be
don't
able
feel
to.
the swords are making holes in the bottom of their boat. That's what I'm saying.
Looks like they're leaning.
Yeah.
They're leaning, and then they're held in by that little board.
And I'm not totally convinced that the person in white is a woman. It could be. It's ambiguous, isn't it?
Yeah, with the other two cards, I don't know. The Illuminati, it was obviously a woman,
Yeah.
but the Rider-Waite, it just felt
You feel
like
like
a
it's a
woman.
woman, but I'm not sure here.
Me
Don't
neither.
know. And
In
in
this
fact, in
case,
the Ghetto Tarot, they don't call it the suit of swords, they call it machetes.
okay, and see, in this case, I was just gonna say, the swords in the Rider-Waite and the Illuminati felt like they were baggage. Here, they feel like tools to forge
Yes,
their
they
new
do.
life.
Yes, they actually do.
Yeah.
So whether
So,
they're taking them for protection or whether they're taking them for fishing or hunting or something, I don't know.
or
But
clearing the way ahead of
yes,
them when they
yeah,
get, yeah. So I really, really, that does not bother me. Where the Rider-Waite and the Illuminati swords, it's like, really, why are you gonna put your swords in your boat like that? These are tools.
yes, I totally agree.
Nice. I need that deck.
You
Is
do.
that still available?
Everybody should buy that deck.
Yes, not only for the beauty of the whole deck, but the proceeds that
Yeah.
go to help that community who it appears that they were all for doing the modeling and the deck. They
Oh,
went
absolutely. Yeah,
full feet in.
yeah, yeah.
So, and they made that deck amazing.
It's extraordinary. So there we have it, right? The Six of Swords, and we will be back shortly. Moving on towards Seven of Swords and beyond.
Oh wow, what are we halfway through now?
I don't know.
I can't do the math in my head.
We've done all of the wands and all of the coins and Six of the Swords. So that's 14, 28, 34. No, we're not quite halfway.
Not quite, but we're
Not
getting
quite.
there.
Don't know. Yeah, just
All
loving
right.
it though. Really loving it.
Yeah, I am enjoying the heck out of this. I love talking to you and being able to make new connections with the cards that I've never seen before because
Oh, same
you
here.
just
Yeah,
sparked that.
yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. No, it's amazing. Yes.
Ah, so y'all want to spark us too, then leave a comment.
Yes,
Do the
please.
like and the subscribe and the ding 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 bell. Um, what is
Yeah,
it? Swipe, tap, click, do whatever you need to do to stay connected with us.
yeah. Join our mailing list because apart from this, we do readings, but we do all sorts of events. We do all sorts of other videos as well.
We do.
So keep up to date. A lot of what we do, most of what we do is completely free, but we do have some very exciting things as well that, we would ask you to sort of pay towards, but you don't have to. There's an awful lot of kind of like freebies. So
Yeah, the
come on
predominant
board.
amount of stuff we do is for free, but we have our biannual festivals.
Yes.
And we have workshops and all kinds of things for you to
Yeah.
do. We just yesterday, well, by the time this comes out, it'll be a while before, but yesterday Mandy did her our premiere of the spread of the month.
Yes.
So, and that went really well. We had a lot of fun with that. You can catch that video. We did it on Facebook Live, and you can find us on Facebook at the Pomegranate Grove.
Yeah.
So we're all over the place. Come check us out. See what
Yeah.
else we
There'll
do.
be a spread of the month every month and amongst all sorts of other things. So yeah.
Lots of other things. It's like
Yeah.
we do a lot.
It's not just us. We have
No.
two more. We have Cassidy and Khalid as well that are part of our team. So
And they
yes.
contribute a great deal
Yeah.
to our videos, and check out our Astro Tarot videos. You can see all four of us working together, and it's
Yeah.
very obvious that we're a tight-knit group. We have fun.
A lot of fun.
So come have fun with us.
Absolutely. Yes, jump on your boat and sail off to a better place and join us wherever we land next. So, yeah.
And on that note, we will be joining.
Bye for now.
Bye.